Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's see what we can do today to help everybody today a little bit. Okay? For me, I get confused. I get confused with all that silly things I see on the internet. So guess what? Today, let's do a couple things. Let's write down today's date, which always is a plus because we have to realize today's the 23rd. The 23rd of March. My goodness. This month's almost over. Here's our lives right now. It's kind of like money, credit, and time. Money, credit, and time. That's what we need. Money, credit, and time. But unfortunately, we're running out of time. Why? This first quarter is almost over. First quarter, almost over. Okay? So that means we have 3 more quarters after that. How we have the structure. Do we have the money? Do we have the time? We have the credit. See, credit's a tool. And most of us have to get to the point we have to get our foundation back on track. Thank you for giving up the loves and the loves. Share the life, share the life. That's great. I really appreciate that. We're now in the new setup for basically the Ray Reynolds Blueprint Live. That's what it is. All right, so the main thing is we're having fun, helping people. Hopefully you're going to be able to help you today if you pay attention. That'd be kind of nice, but understand something. Here's our biggest problem. People keep scrolling back and forth, in and out, in and out. What does that mean? Online, it's like going through the TikTok. Wait, look at this, look at this. Okay, well, let's do this. Why don't we slow it down a little bit today? Why don't we turn around and go get about $1 million of credit? Okay, I'm holding about $1 million in my hand. I'm just kind of organizing it because they moved the studio around a couple of times as well. So what do? Today we have the choice to listen and learn. To me, I love Chase Bank because why? I get these credit cards or lines of credit. Okay, for instance, these are $50,000 each. So what am I going to do with it? What would I do with $100,000 of credit today? Now, do I want personal? All right, do I want corporation? $100,000 of credit today. See, the difference is I'm probably going to need a combination of both. Why? Because we have to look at our personal credit. Now, if you pay attention and spend some time with me, I'm Ray Reynolds, the Godfather of Credit. I gave that nickname from KNX Radio years ago. So I built $60 billion of credit for my clients myself for the last 50 years. I'm online twice a day, Monday through Friday, and 6 classes on Saturday, usually free. So what happens is we could actually learn to play the game. So let's think about a couple things today. Okay, if you have questions, please ask the questions. The main thing is I'm going to talk about lines of credit from the banks, because that's the ones I like. They're 150s. I like 150,000 of credit because it gives me the choice to buy something in escrow. An escrow is basically set up because I want to buy what's called an auto income. An auto income is a process to receive money on an ongoing base. So what does it mean? When I bought my first Jack in the Box, I was 19. I was buying, Shakey's Pizzas, 31 flavors, ice cream places, donut stores as well. The reality is for me, I didn't have to work there. See, I don't want to work there. I want to basically just own it and be the investor. I want to be the one that's behind the scenes as a banker. See, I like to buy businesses that I don't have to run. Okay, the difference is I wouldn't buy donut stores, but I do buy car washers, a laundromat. Okay, those are important necessity business. How about basically we buy the apartment complex? That's good, but it's a bigger project. If we look at a division process, we can actually learn to play the game and win. What does that mean? We could actually get to a point that we actually do what? We actually get basically a corporation with a bunch of divisions. See, I believe the biggest mistake consumers make is they don't buy something that's a necessity. I don't think they create their own paycheck. And that's the difference. I believe you should. When I started winning the game of business in 1971, I put it out there in the public's eye. I already had $1 million in the bank. To me, money is a tool, but it lets me get to basically what I want to do. So good morning, good morning, good morning to all of you as we scroll through this. Again, if you have a question. The biggest thing right now is to look at your credit. Okay? Say hi over here. Fantastic. So is what? The credit. The main thing today, if I was you, I'd be looking at your credit score and like at basic utilization. The utilization of credit is what screws us up. For instance, this is a $10,000 card. There's a 50. Very simple. If I pay my credit cards every month, I will not get a 50 because I'm not utilizing the credit. So if that's what you want to do, then do that. But again, I would tell you differently. I would tell you the reason my wife and I have a $50,000 venture card is because we keep balances on our cards. All right, not a lot, but a little bit. We structure the credit correctly. We use it basically to having some fun. So hi, good morning, good morning, good morning. Sorry, unfortunately, my employees came to the office sick and they gave me basically a cold. What do you think about Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin should be a division. See, the problem with Bitcoin is For instance, if you buy Bitcoin from your paycheck or your, the income in your bank, it's simple. See, when you get your paycheck, it's taxed. Then you get the leftover. Bitcoin should be bought as a division. But also, I wouldn't buy the Bitcoin as my money. I would use basically corporate credit. See, Bitcoin's going to fluctuate up and down like a yo-yo right now, okay? Between basically the war, the stock exchange, what's happening every day, half the government's closed down and all the things are not being paid. So again, I would basically say one thing, okay? Bitcoin would be great as a division. I'd probably take one of the 50,000 cards and buy some Bitcoin in a division, okay? Then I'd find out the fluctuation. See, in a division, you can actually borrow against it. So borrow money is not taxable. So if it loses, you get to write it off. If it gains, you get to write that off as well, based on absorb based on debt to ratio. What's the ideal sleep schedule? I don't know, Nate, what are you going to do for your sleep schedule? Well, I get up every morning for 1:45 in the morning because I'm having fun. Okay, so but I've done that ever since I was a little kid too. So for me, being used and abused as a kid sucked. So I wanted up. I got up at 2:25 every morning so the abuser wouldn't get me. Ever since I joined TikTok, this is my 18th week. I'm having fun. I get at 1:45. I'm ready to go, having some fun. So again, I'd say hi, Eric. How you doing here? This scrolls pretty fast, so it's like I don't always say the name, but if I see it fast enough, I will. You got Kevin, you got basically Ken, you got basically who, you got Coco, you got Zip something, okay? Reality, you had Darby. So all these people here today, understand. So again, as we do this, and you have Jay, who was always here as well. I love Jay. Jay's great. So let's understand. All right, to answer the question, Bitcoin should be a division of a corporation. See, everything you do is risk. Everything takes a liability. All right, good morning, Jay. Good morning, Darby as well. So what happens is that Bitcoin division, like I said, I would probably take a division and take maybe one of the $50,000 lines of credit from that, from Chase, because there's no interest rate. See, Chase has no interest rate up to 22 months. It's kind of like free money. So I'd roll the dice a little bit and leave it there. So what happens if you buy 50,000 of Bitcoin, and that from there, that payment is $281 a month, $281. See, everyone wastes basically $50 every other day. So you waste about $700 a month. So if I had 50,000 in Bitcoin, it's going to fluctuate. When it goes down, again, write it off. When it goes up, I can absorb it based on debt to ratio. So either way, I win. The goal is to win the game of business. And good morning, Andrew, as well. So what happens? It's like when I created the, years and years ago, 1976, this was my first series out there. In 1976, I created what's called Winning the Game of Business. I had $1 million in the bank, okay? All right, basically 2 years before that. And then I had my Lamborghini driving to Orange Coast College part-time, okay? So again, what happens is very simple. See, for me, I started my first business when I wrote a patent. All right, I had a concept and an idea. I've been writing patents since I was a kid. But I write them through a corporation. I don't write them through me. See, I never want to receive money, okay? If I get money, then I want a paycheck. Paycheck's going to be offset by my house payment. See, the reality is today, you listen to a lot of silly people. Okay, I like you to write down recycle money. Recycling money. Thank you for the hearts. I really appreciate that. If I recycle money. See, a house payment lets you recycle your money on your paycheck and you get your money back on your tax return. These silly people aren't telling you because 97% of people fail trying to be an entrepreneur. 97% is pretty high risk. So if we're going to do something correctly, why don't we build a foundation? Why don't we build the credit in the foundation? And why don't we let it finance itself? Why are we taking it from the family? If your credit's bad, all you have to do is readjust it. There's 5 things to do, and that's it. I helped set up the credit system. All right, late 70s, 1970s, okay? I came up with basically what's called utilization. The utilization on a credit card should be 25% to 29% at the most. So here's a $10,000 card. That's very simple as we go through this process. So it's $10,000. If I use it more than $2,900, I'm in trouble. So I would take you and look at all your credit scores right now as we go through this process. So the main thing is very simple. I do it right the first time. Well, I wish that was easy, but it's not. Nobody can do it right the first time, not even me. I sold a patent. They gave me a $1 million check. I got it basically at 6%. It fluctuated based over the years. That was nice. I probably had kept it. I would have been, a trillionaire at the time. But again, what did I do? I was a kid. See, when I released Winning the Game of Business out in the market, maybe you don't understand. I was 16 years old. That's right, 16. I was a weird kid. I was always at the library because I was an orphan. I didn't get a mommy and a dad like most people. So I was always studying and reading. I've been studying law and accounting for 50 plus years. I wanted to know how to get out of hell. So the reality is very simple as we play this game to win. So keep in mind today, number one, you look for your credit. First of all, your credit. You look at one thing, utilization. Bring it down to 29%. That's all you need to do. Okay? 29% will make the score go up and away. If you have debt to ratios and you have basically a collection item, in the link tree, there's basically the Fair Credit Reporting Act. There's also debt crisis intervention I wrote years ago for consumer credit counseling. It was on the credit bureaus as well, one of my companies. So the difference is you can learn to play, and I've been teaching and training people for 50 plus years. I'm the trainer of the trainers. How's that? I did train some of the people from Carlton Sheets, Dave Delgado, and Russ Dalby as well. So again, this is what you do to your credit every day. You make it going up and down, up and down, up and down. That's got to stop. Fluctuation is basically based on utilization. I wrote down the oldest card, and then we looked at the 29% rule. If we do this correctly, good morning, Mindy, how you doing? Okay, so all these other people, please pay attention. If we want to get our credit score back on track, do a couple things today. Like I said, look at your credit, okay? Look at every item in the credit report. The main thing for you is to look at the report utilization. If you break down the utilization, bring it down to 29%, you're going to win the game of business. Utilization is very important to me. Understand what this means. So, if you want to learn more, all you have to do is get this book in the open market. It's about 50 bucks. Okay, for you today, it's free. If you like the book for free, it'll help your kids in high school and college. It'll help you understand utilization and what needs to be done since day one. Unfortunately, they didn't teach you how to play the game. So here's a free book for you. Okay, save yourself 50 bucks. There you go. And that'll help you put your score back on track. Next thing I'd always think about is what's called a rapid rescore. Let's write down rapid rescore and rapid refresh. What happens is years and years ago, I was a consultant for many companies, even banks. And what happened is we got people in escrows and they were stuck. In other words, back in the 70s and 80s, escrows, if you put money in an escrow, if you didn't come through with the escrow, you took the property off the market and they would keep your deposit. So we had to come up with two things. Number one was gifted money to close the escrow because people need more money for the deposit. The next thing is based on the utilization. Back then, they had a big problem. So we had to do a couple things. Number one, we came up with a point of what's called rapid score. In an escrow, you cannot have another inquiry. It delays the escrow. The only difference is no one's telling anybody these things, and that's the problem. So what we did is we came up with rapid rescore. So rapid rescore is basically created back in the 70s and 80s by Ray Reynolds, that's me. And the difference is it rescores your credit as long as you reduce your debt to ratio. So they tell you to basically take and pay this one down, this one down, this one down, score it good up, and you had the best interest rate you could get. So the difference is buying that house is pretty important. So as you look for the things, if you have questions, please ask questions. I'll answer any questions you need because I can help you get through the process. Now, next thing I tell you, please do not hire a credit repair company. I'm sorry, it's actually against federal law. I'm not here to be an attorney, but I'd like to tell you about credit repair. They're supposed to be bonded, licensed Attorney General's office. They're supposed to be nonprofit, and they're not allowed to collect money up front at all. They're not allowed to collect money up front. So again, what do? They collect money. They're going to promise to remove something. But a lot of times it comes back on. If you want more help about that, it's very simple. What if you have no credit? Then I add you to my credit system, okay? See, I'm an affiliate, 119 creditors. If you have no credit, if I load you in my system, I can pop you your first card, okay? If you did it on your own, please don't ever get a Capital One secure card. You get a lot of silly people online saying get a Capital One or something like this. The answer would be no. I would tell you flat out, Open Sky, which is Capital Bank, there's no inquiry. So you got two choices here. I could load it to my system and pop you a card, probably $500 to $5,000. Okay, basically you have no credit. That means if you ever screw anything up. Next thing is what happens. That's the best card. Well, it is to start your credit file. Again, remember, inquiry starts your credit file. The inquiry does. So as we look at this process, again, I would want to put you in a rapid rescore. Every client we have for the last 50 years, always we put them in a rapid rescore because I push the score up. What it actually does is it blocks crap as well. Okay, what if it's smart to get a CDFI loan? for to pay you and your CFO. Well, why would you need a loan to pay yourself? See, I don't understand that. See, the difference is payment, pay check. Okay, we're going to realize we're all going to pay tax. We have to. If you think you're going to be tax free, it's not going to happen. Okay, can you basically pay as much tax you have to? Of course it is. So what does that mean? Our paycheck is created by the SS5, which none of you need to know. You tend to not know about the SS5. Okay. How do I get your card? Well, the reality is get the card. I like in the link tree. It's very simple, big E. 800-254-9586. Write it down, please. You can DM me in the link tree as well. The phone number is there and all kinds of things as well. So we're here to help you. See, the ultimate goal for you is basically when you get the credit up and away. All right, what I'm going to do is basically help you as well. Can you answer my question? Well, having blessings 111, I have not seen you scroll once, so ask the question, please. I'm answering every question I can. So here we have take a loan out. I don't pay them. All right, the system, no, you don't rip off the creditor. That's wrong. All you need is a Jewish friend, everybody. Okay, well, I'm going to block this person because they don't need to be here. Okay, that's just ridiculous comments. Okay, we don't need ridiculous comments. The goal is to help people. Okay, so again, what do? We build structure finance. Structure is finance in the dream. What does that mean? If we do this correctly, do you overdraft checking account hit your credit report? Overdraft does not hit but it hits your check systems. Understand something. The banks are regulated and they have what's called check systems. As long as you overdraft, basically you cover it, all right, take care of the problem and their fees, you're okay. If not, they can report you to check systems. So then when you go open a new bank account, you're kind of messed up. They've actually blocked you for about 5 years, and there's a way to rebuild that as well. There's always a way to rebuild something that gets screwed up. That's the ultimate goal. Okay? All right, so I'll answer your question, please. You know, it's not good to be overdrawn, but it happens. I mean, I got a big check that last year for $78,000 that bounced. It overdrafted our check. We had to transfer money from another account. But again, that's how it works. Everything on my credit is perfect except utilization 43%. Well, we understand. It's perfect, that's great. Well, why don't we do this? A balanced transfer card, reduce your debt to ratio. Or take every creditor you have, and why don't you think about one thing? All right, find out which ones will increase your limits. For instance, Capital One Online will increase your, online the account will increase the limit. If it's a Chase card on the phone, they can actually do it with the soft inquiry. So there's different ways to do that as well. The ultimate goal is to help yourself as much as you can. So perfect card, but here's the problem. Let's say today, all right, here's another free book for you I wanted to talk about as I answer these questions. This is called Winning the Credit Game. Okay, I wrote this basically, and I had one thing. When I created the credit system as a consultant behind the scenes, Ken Yarborough, TRW became Experian 96. I came up with utilization, 29% oldest card. Then I wrote a book called Prove It or Remove It. See, I wanted to have a counterbalance. So what happens is this is a free download. It's usually up to $100 on the open market. So it's winning the credit game. So do yourself a favor and download the book. It's free for you, okay? So what happens? Now the next thing is if you look in it, you also find some of the Lamborghinis in the car collection. See, I ended up getting 21 cars that are basically in a collection during the time I was getting a divorce, okay? I was born. Now, let's understand, you're welcome. What are you going to do when your credit score is great? How about corporation? How about the LLC or the S Corp? How about we learn how to be one thing? I'd like all of you to do a couple things right now. Would you please take a picture of this? Okay, take your cell phone right now and take a picture of this, okay? I'd like to show you your future if you allow me to do that for you, okay? So what happens? I believe what you should do is create an income for yourself, okay? For instance, I would like to show you how to, I got 3 of them in escrow right now, and I have 2 coming up. I'd like to have your corporation have a division to buy a storage unit. It's a dummy-proof business. Any dummy can own it and not do a damn thing. It makes money. It makes an income. So I think about storage unit would make sense, but it's going to be up to you as well. What's the highest limit that Capital One will give you? It depends on the card, sir. I mean, my X card, personal X, is $100,000. But again, what do you want to do for you? So again, it depends. But again, the utilization process, understand. The reason my wife and I have a $50,000 venture, All right, we want to make sure the highest limits on the credit file because it makes us a great CFO. If you're going to be a CFO for the corporation or any entity you have or LLC, you want to make sure your score is like ours is an 846. We look at our credit just to review it. That's all it is when it comes to corporation. Okay? So again, what if you screw the limit capital would give you? Well, again, it depends on you. See, it's all based on scoring, but let's put it this way. A consumer should not have more than 100,000 of personal credit. That's I think. I think that would be the lock-in. What you want is for you. Let's say we have 4 or 5 of these, 10,000 cards, and one of these. The next thing I would focus on is basically American Express cards. The reason I like American Express is they don't fluctuate. So let's write that down. They do not fluctuate. In other words, all credit cards use utilization. These don't. So again, it's like when people jack up their credit, like the person says 43%. He's jacked up for one reason, because he didn't pay attention or didn't understand it. Now he's at 43%. Increase the limits or pay it down. Get a balance transfer card. So what do? These cards don't fluctuate. So if we have an emergency, we'd use these cards every time. We don't want to screw up our credit. That's the goal. What if you already have been filing tax? What if you've already have filed taxes? It says have been filing taxes, and you're supposed to. I mean, maybe you wanted to put, what if you didn't? Okay, I don't know. Okay, everyone should file tax returns. But again, if you have a business, that LLC, which is limited liability company, okay, it started from sole proprietor. There are 9 kinds of that. What kind do you have? If you have properties in the LLC, the reason they want you to have 5 LLCs is one's hold equities and one this and that. It's kind of a big spider. Again, in the beginning, you probably don't make enough money to do all that stuff or haven't created millions and billions. In the beginning, you should focus on building the credit to the corporation. For instance, if I get that corporation and I take these, this is basically $500,000 of basically Chase, okay, Inc. Inc. cards are up to $50,000 if you have utilization on your personal cards. See, everything you do is an action as a reaction. All right, basically when somebody says you pay it down every month, makes no sense, because when you go to the creditor and they basically, the underwriters at the bank say, well, you've been using your credit personally, you got a good score, but you're not using credit at all. That kind of hurts you. God is good. God is great all the time. That's how it works. So again, what do we look at? So for me, I really, I've been shot 3 times. I've been knifed 6 times. I've been in 2 comas. My last one, I died in 2009, okay? So God is great all the time. We have to focus on God, family, money. That's how I focus my life. God, family, money. But again, I got the gift that God gave me, how to create millions and billions. So that's what I've done most of my life. All right, I created my first billionaire structure. I was 21 years old. Very simple. I'm probably one of the easiest persons on this planet to verify. Why? Because I'm Ray Reynolds, the godfather of credit. I'm also a licensed pastor in California. So when it comes to God, it's very important to me. Well, what do you do? Structure builds finance and dream. Structure builds finance and dream. All right? Structure builds finance and dream. In other words, if I structure myself as a CFO and I take care of my family, all right, I'm going to think about God, family, money. Okay? That's good. Good morning, Tanya. What are we going to do? So the next thing is the corporation. Do I pick an LLC? Do I pick a C Corp, an S Corp? All right, a nonprofit and PC. For me, my clients, I set them up to do $100,000 a month. Okay? Okay, let's see. I encourage more viewers to share. Well, the main thing is to share the live as much as you can. The ultimate goal is as you share the live. All right, see, this is my 18th week on TikTok and social media. I'm sorry. 501c1. Okay, fantastic. You want to be a church. Fantastic. I like the 501c3, to be honest with you, because I usually have houses that are hospice. Real ones, not this phony stuff you see out there on the internet. Every hospice house brings in $112 a month. All right, grant money. That's $112,000. The average hospice house with 3 locations is doing about $300,000 plus a month. But again, it's going to be up to you. So share the live, share the live, share the live. I'd be looking at the things we're allowed to do. Thank you, Black Ken Vote. Really appreciate that. Now, if we pick any organization we have today, like an LLC or C Corp, whatever, so it's simple. Okay, as we do this, I would pick lines of credit. These are the lines of credit. Okay, Aren't you a pastor? Yes, but I'm a pastor, but it's a different type of corporation. Okay? So again, each corporation is different. So you can have a 508(1), and you can basically have a 501(c)(3). The reason I say 501(c)(3) is my first corporation, that's what I started. So again, as we look at the structure of all this, see the difference is you can control and be a CFO of multiple corporations, and you should be, because the main thing is basically protecting your assets and what you're trying to accomplish. So again, what do? How far apart do your homes need to be from each other in miles, or does it matter? It doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter. I have basically, let's say, the 4 houses on one block. Okay, each division is the same street name with a different number. Okay, so the way to separate liability on those properties is a division. Do not buy the house or investment property in a corporation, LLC, or nonprofit. Buy it as basically a division of the corporation. See, the biggest thing you have to do is realize you have to create what's called a separation of liability. We must separate the liability. Because if we buy in things in the LLC, C Corp, S Corp, even nonprofit, when there's a problem, they can sue the nonprofit or the corporation or LLC. If you create division process, each division has a line of defense. By the way, each division can have credit. For instance, okay, this represents about $3 million of credit. Okay, see, I have over 1,200 cards. Okay, I have 62 million of live credit, not counting the lines of credit as well. So what happens? Very simple. Okay, as the Godfather of credit, build 60 billion for my clients, and I got that nickname on KNX. So it's very simple. Where's the where do you where is that where you the 10% or 2? Well, all right, everyone has their choice what they give to their church or what they need to do as well. So they do recommend the 10% to answer your question, but we're not here to go church versus state and all that other silly stuff. Okay? All right, you do not own corporations, you never own any of them. See, there's a problem. People think they own something. They don't. Corporations controlled by usually membership certificates or stock. In a nonprofit, you don't own a nonprofit. It's managed by what? All right, managed membership certificates. The board controls a nonprofit. So again, if you want to debate knowledge and knowledge, hell, I've got an IQ well off the chart. I recall, I talk with both hands, write at the same time, and I write once in a while too. Okay, I've been a consultant for governments and banks and everything else, and I was a trainer of TRW. All right, when it came before it became Experian. So again, we can debate all day long, but why bother to do that? Do you have your own LLC to be owned by? Well, what happens? The LLC is a limited liability company. The problem with most people, some probably like you, sorry to say, but it's probably true. You have an LLC. If you do business, you probably named it after yourself. You probably named what it does, and it actually does business. All right? The difference is the LLC should have divisions. That's called a line of defense. The LLC was started by sole proprietor. Sole proprietor started LLC. That's how it works. From there, you have division process. It's called a line of defense. In my opinion, an LLC making money because they're going to argue about that 15.3% employment tax. Pull the draw, have your kids work there. I think that's a bunch of hooey. Okay, I build millions and billions, and it's very simple. It's what I've done all my life, millions and billions of dollars. But again, it's a structure, all right? What did he have for dinner on the 13th? I don't know who he is. The difference is, all right, on the 13th. But again, it's up to you as we play this game to win. All right, so again, as we structure business, okay, all right, for everyone needs to understand something. Winning the Game of Business was published in 1976, all right, with $1 million in the bank. All right, that was me. I was 16, driving a Lamborghini at East Coast College. I did not go to high school. So understand something, it's very, very simple as we play this game to win. The ultimate goal is very simple from here. I created my first billion structure at 21 years old. Because I invested in things that have divisions in 1984, I created a division process. So I was buying up things with auto incomes. In other words, I'd buy some Shakey's pizzas, some 31 flavors, some Subways and things like this back then, no problem. I also did in 1984, I was the king of satellite television. Okay, satellite television, doing $100 million on that stuff because it was manufacture, distribution, retail, and all these other things. So again, as we do all these things, okay. All right, just learning. Well, the difference is as you're learning on here, nonprofit's a great corporation. Again, what happens in nonprofit, you get the state to file it, that's fine. The next thing what you want to do on the nonprofit is basically go to the 1023 form. That's IRS getting the exemption of 501c3. Without that, it's not really nonprofit, it's known as not-for-profit. If you need to, in the link tree, there's corporations there. They're free to everybody. You just pay your filing fee. All right, again, about personal credit, this is there for you free. Starting out right, it helps you understand personal credit. Since I'm the guy that set up the rules and tools in the late 70s and 80s, utilization is very important to me. Utilization, okay? That's where that 29% came into. Oldest card came in as well. So as we bring this up, very simple, okay? All right, we get to basically help ourselves. So again, on this side of nonprofits, great, I love it. My first corporation, by the way, was nonprofit. I didn't know what I was doing, like a lot of people. I had no idea what the heck I'm doing, okay? All I knew is I went to the library, studied books every day for 2 years straight, and I sent away $10. $10 came back. Helping Hand Industries came back. So if you're looking online, Secretary of State of California, Helping Hand was started by me when I was 9.5 years old. 9.5, by the way. I got credit cards in the mail, freaked me out. Freaked out Mrs. Hope, too. See, what happened back in the 70s and 80s and part of the 90s, credit cards came in the mail, or just by themselves, and says, activate the card. That's all it said. And then in the late 90s, they started using SSNs, which is an SS5 form. These are lines of credit. If I have my LLC and I build a line of credit, I can go buy something, but I don't want to buy it as a parent company. I want to buy it as a division. Please share the live, and do a couple things today, Linktree. Now, this afternoon, the whiteboard behind me, okay, I'm going to be talking about what's called a blueprint of success. So again, it's like this last Saturday, I did 6 classes. Every Saturday, my class has been out there helping people for 50 years. I'm online twice a day. So I'll be back online at 3 o'clock this afternoon, 3:15. Okay, 3 o'clock this afternoon, helping people understand it as well. So think about your questions, come back online, and let me answer more questions. Share the live. I'll actually be able to help you get to the process and get to the millionaire status. I don't know how many of you would like to have a millionaire corporation. All right, if you like, let me know and I'll help you get that. I did my first one literally when I wrote a patent for Car Finder as a kid. So if you want that $1 million corporation, it's very simple. It's not hard to do. It's like today, for instance, if I wrote you a check for $1 million, where would you bank the check? Okay, where would you bank the check? Share the live. See, what you have to realize is we're all controlled, all right, by an SS5 form, which is SSN and 1040. So ask your question, share the live. What is a 1040? It's our tax return. How do we recycle money? Let's write down recycle money. I mean, this is the thing that really bothers me about all the people I call circus clowns online. See, what bothered me when I started TikTok 18 weeks ago, this is number 18 for me, okay? For 50 years, I wrote checks for millions and millions of dollars for radio and TV. That's just me. So what happens is structure builds finance and dream. So if I gave you a check for $1 million today, $1 million, let's say a $1 million check, okay? Where would you bank the check? Okay. See, here's the difference. Here's a $1 million check in your hand. What are you gonna do with it? Okay. So here's a check, and this is the Ray Reynolds. All right, Blueprint Live. This is what this is called. So I got a check for $1 million. What do I do with the check? See, what you need to understand something. If you put it in your personal account, all right, because you're controlled by SS5, SSN, and 1040, you will pay tax. Okay, you will pay tax. If you put it into an SS4, which is an LLC, C Corp, S Corp, whatever, then you'll pay no tax until you're profitable. Next thing is corporations, a legal person, Chapter 18. Share the live, and get to know me. Look in your Linktree. Call the office today, talk to a specialist. See, I can repackage every one of you to millionaire strategy if you wanted to. What does that mean? For instance, here's our folder for this next week, okay? I've structured over 22 people. They're going to be buying storage units next week. They're going to be buying a car wash, okay? All right, these are auto incomes. They're going to buy a laundromat, okay? And an escrow, okay? All right, what's happening, they're using, listen carefully, a line of credit to do this. The line of credit puts in escrow. From there, what happens is the payment's paid automatically. They get the leftover. You have dogs looking for, well, whatever the hell that means. I don't know, silly questions. Okay, ask an intelligent question, please, on this side. All right, so again, what do we look at? So if we want to structure, we have the ability to do this, okay? You'll be sending your son to the seminar and purchase Founders Kit. Okay, great, fantastic. That's a good question. See, the Founders Kit, as someone's bringing up, is 12 books, okay? And it gives you the foundation of 1,000 steps. That's what it does, 1,000 steps. You know I love recall. Well, I know you challenge me all the time, bad power, though this, very simple. I recall in most things. I don't try to brag about it. I bring it up because I didn't remember everybody's name. You've been here for the last weeks, and every day you want to challenge, you know, what someone had dinner on the side. Again, I don't have time to play games. Okay? All right? So again, what bank? Well, I'm going to tell you Chase Bank's my primary. Why? Because personal cards and business cards, there's no interest for 22 months. This is literally $500,000 of credit cards. What are you going to do with it? See, it's the part. With you, I can help every one of you get to $1 million dream. And that's what you have to understand. There's a lot of crap out there and there's a lot of hooey. Me, it's very simple. I'm going to teach you the rules and tools. So foundation builds structure and dream. House personal, we recycle our money through house payment. So again, what do? We're measured by SS5, SSN 1040. Corporation is going to pay tax when it makes profit. But again, what it is, simple. If I have an LLC, LLC stands for limited company. It actually intends to be a corporation. If it makes money, I'm not going to worry about the 15.3% employment tax and pull draw in my employees and my kids. No, I'm going to transfer to an S corporation, S. All right, that's fine, I did, okay? See, an S corporation doesn't pay tax, all right, in a foundation until it makes $3 to $5 million. So that's what happens. How can I get started? 800-254-9506. See, if I help you get credit to the corporation, I'm going to put you in an escrow. I'm going to help you create an auto income the rest of your life. I think the problem with the world today is you're thinking about trying to be an entrepreneur and you stress out your family. You borrow from the family. You know, you steal money from the family. You screw up your credit trying to start a business or you're careless. We put it back on track. All right, every one of us should own a damn storage unit. Okay, come on. It's a dummy-proof business. I have 50, so right now we just told up, what's that with escrows? I have 50 escrows coming up. We're doing about $5 billion in escrows this year, $5 billion. So if you want to be part of an escrow, I can line you up for that process, what it means. See, I think you want to be an entrepreneur, great, that's fantastic for you. I don't want you to be an entrepreneur, not in the beginning. I want you to have your foundation, your divisions, and I want you to buy a damn storage unit, okay? I'm a past client, right? Okay, fantastic. This is Joe Barr, okay? If I knew your first and last name, I'd probably remember who you are. If I remember the comment here, Joe Barr, you're from 2003, I believe. And from 2003, you used to go over to Anaheim on the building runs Cerritos. If I'm correct, let me know, because I don't have your full name, but that's how it works. Invest and you want to get started. Well, what happens, understand something. You have to realize something. If I'm going to coach you personally, okay, or I'm one of my junior and senior coaches, that's fine. Our team's going to help you. What's going to happen is very simple. I'm so grateful that TikTok, God is good. Well, I appreciate that. God is great. But understand something. I'm going to build structure. I'm going to repackage your life personally. I'm going to put you in a rapid rescore. I'm going to make sure you readjust your debt to ratio. You're going to be in a rapid. If you have a spouse, we're going to protect your assets. You're not going to bring the pain home ever again. It's ridiculous. Okay? You're going to learn to recycle money. How much do we need to pay to get started? Christian, it depends what you're looking to do. See, I don't like to talk about money. I haven't had a paycheck in 40 years, ladies and gentlemen. I don't need one. I brought in my first billion at 21, 2.6 billion, 26, 2.7 billion, 2009. I died and coma, came back. Rebuild it again and again and again. Every one of you have the ability to take the knowledge that God gave me, and I've been teaching and preaching for 50 years, 6 days a week. 6 days a week. If you didn't find me before, I don't know why. All right, I'm all over the place. I have 39 millionaire clients, okay? And I have 50 million people I've taught division process to. So how you structure? Very simple. What happens? Very simple if I'm here. If we put ourselves on track, my wife and I, for instance, I use our credit here as an example because it's an example for all of us. For instance, all right, this is my credit here. Oh, this is my wife's. She got 50,000. Okay, understand something. You do not want to pay off your credit cards every month. That makes no sense. When you go to the credit line for the bank is not going to give you a $50,000 venture card, all right, or an X card, or basically an Inc. They're not going to do it. So what you do here reflects over here. You're a CFO. We must keep balances on cards at least 10%, okay, if you want them to take you seriously. Unfortunately, people pay it off at night and it's dumb, okay? You're supposed to live off credit. You don't live for credit. Credit is a tool that finances the dream. It's very simple. Working hard for your money. I think working hard for money makes sense because you don't know any better. I'm sorry. All right? For instance, let's take this, okay? If you let me repackage you today, all right, you would be buying this storage unit in 6 months. This storage unit has allowed, it's enough money into it to have 4 people end up getting $4,200 a month. That's it, okay? Forever. They want an asset. See, your problem with you is you don't own the damn asset and you're busy trying to be an entrepreneur going a little bit like this. It's ridiculous. If you bought a storage unit today, all right, you don't do a damn thing. You sit back and let the management company manage the damn unit. Then you buy another one, another one. I mean, your whole thing is wrong as far as I'm concerned. I'm sorry, but for 50 years I've been saying my way works and your way sucks, okay? Credit is a tool to get there. That's all it is. The reason I pick on Chase is very simple. There's no interest for 22 friggin' months. It's free damn money. They do it for personal and business, okay? So how much is the storage unit? It depends which one you want to buy. I mean, damn, you want an easy question. There's no easy question. You're not ready for you anyway. You don't have a division under your corporation. You know what the saddest thing for most of you? You have an LLC or a corp or whatever you got. You don't have a Experian, Treasury, and Equifax cash reports on your damn corporation or LLC. I said at the dashboard in 1987, being a consultant for TRW. So that's what happens. Took forever to make that. All right, well, what happens is we have to understand. It took forever to understand. No, do one thing. If I build your corporation or LLC today, okay, I'm going to add Experian, Treasury, and Equifax. Okay, I'm going to be able to get you a credit card to the corporation pretty quick, about 90 days. At the same time, I'm going to make sure you rebuild you, wrap and rescore. See, here's the thing about me. I can give you the whole damn blueprint. I created the blueprint, okay? All right, for 50 years. All these silly people, I'm going to coach you, stop. These clowns are ridiculous, or clowns. And you're trusting them to rebuild your life, which sucks. I'm sorry. A division separates liability. Division. Your banks last year bankrupt 22,000 locations. They bankrupted. In front of you, you didn't pay attention. What does that tell you? It means very simple. Banks are branch number, the parent company, okay? So I have business credit with Experian. Fantastic. Do you have $100,000 of credit? Again, Experian, all right, that's basically what scoring system do you have. Like a drop ship method, okay? Well, here's the thing. You want to do drop shipping, you want to do all these other things, okay, that's fantastic. Do it all, okay? If you ever want to get serious, to have auto income, write down auto income. That means $100,000 a month automatically. You become an investor, okay? I mean, come on, let's understand something. When it comes to my credit, for instance, my wife and my credit is boring. It's a 846. Here's my mother-in-law's American Express card. She lives in Colombia, okay? Very simple. Here are my American Express cards right here. Simple. What do we hear? Here's my wife's Amex cards. Why do I show that? Simple. American Express does not fluctuate. See, the key thing for you, you keep jacking up the wrong damn card. It's ridiculous. Because if you jack up a car past 29%, it's yellow, it's red. I designed the system in the 70s and 80s. So again, when I basically worked for TRW as a consultant. So if we do this correctly, you can restructure your life as well. 29%, not 33%. I mean, I was going to sue Credit Karma again during the pandemic. I kept saying 42%. I wrote the rules in the late 70s. It has not ever changed. It's not ever changed. There's only 5 things to do to make your credit score up. That's it. I need the wrap or rescore. Yeah, you do. Everybody does. Wrap or rescore pushes scores up, blocks crap, and gives you another card. So you can rebalance your debt. That's what it does. We created wrap or rescore in the 70s and 80s, people. I was behind the scene of all that too. Again, what do? Unfortunately, what happens with these silly people out there, they're teaching little pieces. Okay, that's why Jesus got mad at the bankers. Well, Jesus went into the temple and threw everything across because they're trying to sell into the temple. Again, what do we look at? So again, yes, we can go into religion if we need to, but the difference is it's not this thing. All right? The bottom line is we have to realize God, family, money. It's how it works. God, family, money. So understand, these don't fluctuate. The biggest thing I want you to think about is share the live and be back here at 3 o'clock this afternoon. During that time, in the link tree, get your free books, get your articles, understand how it works, and talk to one of my specialists today. 800-254-9506. 800-254-9506. I want to do it today. Can we? Yes, of course we can. Let's understand. Please understand what rapid. You're talking about rapid rescore. What rapid does is it blocks crap. Pushes scores up. That's what it does, okay? What we did in the 70s and 80s when people were stuck in escrow. Rapid rescore recalculates as long as you do something, okay? It'll push your score up. That's very simple. You want to learn more? Well, Lonnie, I'm going to teach you all you need to learn. It's simple to play. So what do? Rapid would push it up, all right? I know why we want to push up. We always want to keep our score high. If you're in a rapid forever, for your whole life, believe it or not, you want to be, it always keeps it high. It doesn't let these other things bring you down. Every quarry brings you down. This, that, no, rapid keeps pushing you up. That's what it does. It's like a damn rubber band. So it basically will push you up, block your crop credit, and be able to get another car to reduce your debt to ratio. Unfortunately, most people, their debt to ratio is above 29%. So I want you to understand something. What if rapid score, how do you structure, okay, I have an S Corp ready and I pay taxes through the payroll. Well, I want you to stay that way. But I want your paycheck to be recycled as you have a house payment. Don't have a house payment? I'll help you get one. Okay? So his question, he gets an S Corp, fine. He's getting a paycheck. There's nothing wrong with that, please. How do I get my money back? All right, a paycheck. And understand, I don't like circus clowns out there. There's crap all over the place. Don't buy a house, excuse me. If I pay a lease payment, I make someone else rich. If I pay the same payment on a house payment, I get my paycheck money back that was taxed. See, it recycles money. Property tax. Houses have warranties. So the difference is very simple. Why a house payment? Show me a way to recycle your paycheck, please. Show me a way to recycle your paycheck, DJ. Okay, please. See, the world is we get a paycheck. It is taxed. We get the leftover. We get taxed before we get our damn money. If we recycle the house payment, we get our money back on our tax return. We can also figure out how many we want to claim. So I'm against these people say don't buy a house. It makes no sense. See, they're helping rich people. They're not helping the average 97% who fail. Structure builds finance and dreams, okay? That's what it is. As we play this game, we play to win. All right, do you want to win the game or not? I mean, come on. I'm a kid, all right? I was actually 12 and a half when I started Car Finder as an idea. I almost blew up the garage. See, I had an idea. You see, you have ideas too, right? I wanted to make the remote control on the garage door open, or when I push it to make the horn in the car beep. Beep, 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 beep. It's what I wanted. So what did I do? Simple. I have a mortgage. What do you mean recycle? Can't only you claim interest? First of all, if you don't claim interest or you don't claim the property tax on that house, how do you get money back on your tax return? It's not possible. I mean, come on. You're controlled, every one of you controlled by an SS5. You don't even know what the hell an SS5 is. This is the problem. 99% of you, what's an SS5? You don't even realize that the way the system works. Your problem is you not understanding is our lack of knowledge. The SS5, you or mommy filled it out. That's the SSN 1040 tax return. We get our paycheck, it's taxed. We get the leftover, that's it. How do you get it back? If I have a house payment, which could be utilization of the same as a rent payment, all right, again, rents don't give you warranties. You got to deal with landlords and crap, and they got to deal with you. House payments, mortgage. You write interest rate, and you basically write off the property tax. This recycles your money. See, your paycheck should be equal to your write-off base. That's what it should be. So share the life, share the life, share the life. I'll get every one of you into buying a storage unit in 6 months or less. 6 months or less. Then I'm going to make you buy a damn gas station, and then I'm going to make you go buy a damn car wash. Come on. When I give you the folder, when I restructure you my way, you're going to have what's called auto income. This means you're a corporation, as a division bought into something, and then make sure you're the investor. Come on. You drive by a damn car wash every day. Who owns it? Who owns it? It's a management company managing it. You drive by Wendy's restaurant. There's a management company running their Wendy's restaurant. Why don't you own 20% of a Wendy's restaurant? I have no idea. Why don't you do that? Structure builds finance and dreams. Structure, my LLC, well, the reality is Johnny Nichols. All right, I can help you do that as well. It's going to be up to you. Understand something, please. The LLC started from the sole proprietor. Sole proprietor became an LLC. I'll pick a car wash. Again, I'm going to give you 10 types. I'm going to show you the proceeds come out. Management company, and understand, management companies, the way we designed it since 1987, the management company, all right, maintains and they take the payment, which you used to put in escrow. Escrow closes, that means management takes over, sees that you use a line of credit from the bank. They're maintaining that payment before they give you proceeds. They will not give you money until you have the payment for basically structured. You're not going to get any money yet. They're going to pay that payment first, you get the leftover. Your leftover minimum, I've seen in the last year, is $2,100 a month for doing nothing. You're an investor. Highest is going to be about, now it's about $22,000 a month. $22,000 a month, okay? Can't wait to own all that. Thank you. Well, the difference is, Claire, you've been here for this last week, and you're paying attention. I love that. And remember, I don't want you doing that debt consolidation thing as well you talked last week about. Okay, so what do we do? If we build structure, good morning, ECAS, hope you're feeling good today. If we structure the finance, we can build the dream. I don't understand why 97% of people fail when they have an LLC or C Corp and have a division to finance the dream and buy a piece. Hey, I don't know why. I bought my first Jack in the Box when I was 19, okay? It's a management company. I don't own it. It's owned as a division now. So we don't have to worry about being a duck and a sheep. See, you want to be a duck and sheep, all you want to find, do it, okay? I think the world is doing it wrong completely. I'm right, they're wrong, in my opinion. This is my opinion. If I take a Chase card today, okay? I'm going to use the Chase card, 50,000 of these, this is $500,000, okay? I'm going to buy some Bitcoin as a division. I'm going to spend $50,000. Why? I don't pay interest on this for 22 months. Why? If I lose, well, guess what? I offset the taxes. If I win, okay, I offset the taxes by the debt to ratio. This is how you watch rich and famous people do it every day. When did you buy your first Wendy's? I never bought a Wendy's power about it. All right, the divisions buy them, okay? And I don't buy the whole thing. I basically do one thing. All right, it's a percentage of it. So I got a group of family about 4 years ago. They all pitched in to buy a Wendy's. They bought the whole damn thing. Now they all have a bunch of them. See, Wendy's is a good restaurant because it just stays there forever. Again, it depends what you want to do. That's one of the categories. There are 10 categories that I'd love for you to basically get as an auto income. Auto income is very simple. See, the problem you have today, I think your problem is you, okay? I'd like to think about changing your life. Take a picture, right there, right there. Take a picture, okay, right here. Take your picture. There's your future. Take a picture. See, the problem you all have is you being you. Sorry, I don't like it. I created auto income in 1987, okay? I've got clients who own a bunch of McDonald's, okay? All right, it's like on KJLH radio, too. The brothers are on the station all the time. Thanks to Ray Reynolds, he got me my first McDonald's in Hawthorne, California. You walk in, there's a plaque with my face on it, okay? So let's understand. If we create an auto income business, all right, that means money coming in automatically. How do we get there? Well, first we restructure ourselves. We got to have basically, and I'm going to tell you, do not pay off a card on a monthly base. Because what happens, you won't get a $50,000 venture. Well, if you don't have credit being utilization, at least 10%, they're not going to give you a big over here. They're not going to give you a big chunk of money. I like Chase cards being $50,000 each, okay? I like getting $500,000 of credit and no interest rate. That doesn't mean I'm going to use it and abuse it. I have it to finance the business. I'm going to get these as lines of credit from the bank, 150s. 150. I take $25,000 in an escrow. Escrow closes, management company pays the bill. My leftover is $3,200 a month. The science has never changed. It's never changed. The thing is, you got to get your account off your assets. What is auto income? Owning a piece of something like a Wendy's, a storage unit, a laundromat, a car wash, have an apartment complex. When I wrote, listen carefully, people, ladies and gentlemen, I created the assignment of mortgage. Yeah, daisy chain, you know that's right. The assignment of mortgage is 1989. So if you take your timeline from 84, when I created division process, in 87, I created the division that allows out also for credit bureaus. I said the first dashboard allows tax ID for an application. Share the life, share the life, share the life. Very simple, please. Go to your link tree, call the office now. So I set that up. All right, what happened in 88, I get 53 million of credit cards, so shrinking my limits. I had to study more, C191 loan out money. 1989, I'm doing assignment of mortgage. So guess what we do? All these things exist for one reason. Well, snap, those didn't exist until the 80s. That's right. All right, in the 80s, if you ever go back in time, you'd see my little kits of information at stationery stores. Okay? I had legal secretary, all these little kits everywhere. And that's how it was. So I created forms that helped me, and I used the forms to help me help you. I wanted people to understand how it worked. It was important to me. It was very important to me. Ooh. One of these days, I'll quit moving the studio around and everything else and basically just messing things up for me. I don't like when they mess up things for me. Okay? All right? It's no fun because it's like I'm organized. I like to be organized, and when they move my crap, I get, yeah. I just want to scream my head off. Okay. This is your future. Okay? Johnny, this is your future. Okay? E-Cats, this is your future. All right? Very simple. Joe Barr, this is your future. Okay? Your future. You're going to stop doing what you do because I'm going to tell you what to do. Here's Jay. Here's his future as well. Kim as well. Mindy as well. Okay? Your future is very simple. Okay? I'd like you to stop the crap, slow it down, structure you personally and your business and division process. If you allow me to do that, we're going to take each one of these categories here, all right? An apartment complex. How about a dry cleaners? Storage unit is my favorite. It's a dummy-proof business. Any dummy can own one and not do a damn thing. How about a Wendy's? How about a gas station? How about a laundromat? How about McDonald's? How about a car wash? How about a KFC? All these things make money, and you don't have to do a damn thing besides let it be managed by a management company. Why are you working so hard when you can work smart? I don't get it. Kinko's, well, you bring up Kinko's, understand something. Okay, you ever heard of basic mailbox, etc.? It was sold to become Kinko's. Did you know that? Did you know I'm the one who sold it to him? You gotta understand how to play this game. Mailbox, etc. was one of my companies. It was sold to basically Kinko's and actually sold to Federal Express. Okay? I don't like the mailbox business per se because you tend to want to run the damn thing. No. I looked for an apartment complex for $100,000, couldn't find it. Where do I look? Well, the difference is if you're basically in our coaching programs, I give you a broker's list. Okay? See, one of the things you're looking for you to research all you can, go for it. You're not going to find an apartment complex for $100,000. You'll find a house, but you won't find an apartment complex. You find a fourplex, but anything above 4 units in California is commercial. So again, how do you play this game? It's up to you. So again, what you want to do is realize the down payment, how you structure it, how you buy it. I don't want you to buy an apartment complex until you get auto business. In other words, I'd prefer you buying a basically part of a Wendy's restaurant first. I would rather have you buy a storage unit first, okay? I thought your mouse pad said an apartment complex. No, it says $100,000 of credit. Look at it again. You always want to challenge me. Eventually, I'm going to get pissed off and just block your butt because I'm tired of your garbage, okay? This shows American Express, $100,000 of credit, and basically as you build credit to that. That's a starting point. Each division will have $1 million of credit. That gives you an example what type of credit you could start with because what happens, understand something. The American Express, Gold or Platinum, have a blueprint loan. Blueprint loan, what does that mean? Blueprint loan. So that means $250,000. So it's like if you go through this process, your problem is you're wanting quick answers. There's no quick answer, okay? All right? Yeah, you're going to put all the caps on the hearts. So the difference is, all right, once in a while you just, it's just too much you push on. Take a picture of all this, ladies and gentlemen. Take a picture. Okay, if I can make both of your sides. Okay, here. Take your picture. The reason I pick on American Express is they have a blueprint loan named after Ray Reynolds, the godfather of credit, because I have the blueprint, right? Blueprint of success. I own the rights to that. So if we take this American Express because I have a gold or platinum card. Nobody tells you about the damn loan. They should. These cards get you this, because this is a blueprint loan. That's what you would use on the mouse pad to get into here as a down payment. Got it so far? All right, again, listen, learn. That's what you get to do. Listen and learn. All right, ECATs, how you doing today? Share the life, share the life. See, at the end of the day, you want a bunch of this, but the reality is this isn't money. See, until you break down knowledge and structure, I don't think you're going to get there. I love to help you, but the reality is share the life, share the life, yeah. But this is a Federal Reserve note since August in 71. See, you got to realize the IRS tracks us as an SS5. Every one of us have an SS5 form in the IRS file. That's how it works. That's how it's always worked. So as we understand, SS5 equals SSN in 1040. They want to track. You want a bunch of this. It's a Federal Reserve note. It has been, literally. Okay, for instance, I have one of these here. Just watch this, okay? I had one I gave away last week. I won't say gave away. You'll think it's free. No. He spent $38,000, okay? $38,000, okay? Now, I got him. This is a corporation that's 2 years old, 3 divisions, 3 subdivisions. Okay, he's now in escrow. Understand? He's in escrow, 6 escrows simultaneously. His income per month will be $64,000 a month in the next 4 months, because he spent $38,000 and got his foundation done. That got him how much again per month? Forever? See, forever. If you own a Wendy's restaurant forever until you sell it, it's yours. When you buy a storage unit, it's yours. Storage unit, laundromat, car, whatever, it's yours. So again, this is the goal. Okay? It's like this one. I have 2 people today. This is my last one. It's 3 corp, 3 divisions, 3 subdivisions. This will create $42,000 a month income. $42,000 a month income. Okay? And they'll close 6 escrows. Now, some people will close 1 at a time. Some will close all 6. The reason I got kind of, I don't want to say scared or screwed up, in 1987, I had 16 escrows closing a day. 6 a day, so I got out of hand. I was a consultant for TRW, fine. In 87, I created the dashboard, and I got $53 million of credit. They're shrinking my limits, and I had to do that. I'm going crazy. I got 16 escrows closed in a day, so I got a problem. I couldn't handle it. So I asked my clients, would they be my damn soldiers? So ever since 1987, I've been positioning people to get auto income. That's how I got 39 millionaire clients. 30,000 up front. Well, that was for that guy last week because we did 6 escrows at one time. Okay, it doesn't cost that much in most cases. Understand, a shelf corporation should be lined up with divisions ready to go. There's the difference. So if you, for instance, somebody here, all right, if we took this last corporation, it's the last one. I have other shelf corps as well from last year. Let's take this one. This has corporation, 3 divisions, 3 subdivisions. That's 6 escrows. Sorry, I stutter once in a while, and I have a cold now thanks to our clients or my employees. All right. If I take that 6 escrows, I'm going to create $42,000 a month. Auto income for the corporation, just under that. Again, what do we do? Okay? I mean, this one the other day, oh no, here's a surprise. They're getting it for $8,000. It's ridiculous. But that $8,000 investment structured creates $42,000 a month. So you got to realize something. When you structure a business, and what happens to most of you, you keep borrowing or taking from your family, screwing it up. Okay? If we take this here, if I can pick it up, this is $62 million of credit. Okay? What are you going to do with it? I've been collecting this since I was a kid. I play with this all the time. When it comes to personal business credit, I am the expert, period. So if you took this shelf corp today, they're giving away for $8,000. I think 3 people are in line to go get it. And I told Lawrence the other day, first come, first serve. We were pies. That's it. This is $42,000 a month. 42 what a month? It's like, are you ridiculous? Are you not doing what you're told to do? I don't get it. Auto income comes from divisions into the corporation, sharing the same bank account, and now the money's coming in. And now that's forever. Then you tie irrevocable trust. So again, it's like basic irrevocable trust. The reason again, let me rephrase it because he always wants to challenge me. It's fun, I guess. This is going to show Mirror Express. Every one of these bits. This is your future if you just paid attention. Mirror Express has a blueprint loan. There's the $250,000 for the deposit on any auto income you want. Learn more if I stay engaged. Oh, hell yes. Well, that's the goal to have everybody learn more. But again, let's understand something. If I get the loan, and then let's go back, all right, because you think it's easy. Let me break it down one more time, okay? That's $250,000 just on American Express Inc., okay? Or excuse me, American Express Gold or Platinum. But I want you to focus on something. Let me grab something real quick because it's not as easy as you think it's going to be. Now let's watch what happens. The American Express, listening very carefully, blueprint loan. Blueprint loan. They want to see 30 transactions in a bank account, 30 transactions. Okay, and they want to see 100,000 a month in the account, in and out, okay? The one that closed in the escrow, they paid 38,000, and he's got basically 42,000 a month, that's fine. The reason he paid that high fee is he made me a CFO. I became one of his CFOs. What does that allow us to do? Here's my petty cash account from last month, okay? This allows me to use my petty cash account. All right, here's 215. Here's another one for 61,000, and another 61,000 right here. So I could show for him to close the escrows, 6 escrows at one time, because I could do this for him as a CFO. Now, when he elects me as CFO, I have no power to do anything. I'm just a chief financial officer. I'm just basically on the piece of paper resolution. I have no power to change anything besides being an attorney in fact. Because I was able to do that for him, he now did the 38,000, and he closed escrow making 42,000 a month. Is that a pretty good investment? Now that's forever, forever. So that means very simple, forever. He will basically have, all right, entity to the corporation income. Now, how could he screw it up? He goes too fast, too quick. The moment you start getting money, the problem, people go crazy and dumb. Crazy and dumb. What does that mean? Good morning, Nicholas. All right, I went through a divorce and I bought 21 cars. You know, I was buying cars before then anyway. By the time I was done, I had 21 cars. All right, like my current wife for the last 20 some odd years says, you can't drive them all at once. But honey, they look pretty. So understand something, all right? Everything's an investment if you do it right as a division. Alfredo, here we go. Say, if I screw this up, please forgive me. It scrolls pretty fast. Again, GM, Mr. Reynolds. Okay, yeah. What happens for me is I want to be able to have the what? Okay, the power to help that person, just like you. Because you do this to your personal credit, up and down, your lack of knowledge is where you bring the pain home. Again, what do you need to do? So share the live, tell people about me. Call 800-254-9506. The first thing you need to do for yourself is understand something, putting your credit on track. On track's very simple. What does that mean? Utilization is what's hurting your credit, utilization. You got to bring it down because utilization is hurting you today. And that's your biggest problem you have. The next thing is you have to focus on structure, builds finance and dreams. Structure builds finance and dreams. That's what you understand. So as you do this today, let's pay attention. If we looked at our personal credit, we have to put ourselves in a rapid rescore. That'll push the scores up and create green lights if you need more credit to reduce your debt to ratio. Are you an authorized signer on the bank if you're, hell no, I have no idea, no. I have no control. As a CFO, it allows me to have power to use my bank accounts because when they called, and they called me personally, and they say, are you Ray Reynolds, blah, 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 yes. All right, we like to log in your bank account. We like to verify transactions. This is what they will do to us. I said, no problem. So let's log in together. And I share the accounts, and they look in the 3 accounts that are petty cash, and they go, okay, thank you very much. We see about 330,000 for last month. That's correct. And we see over 1,200 transactions. That's correct, too. Say they wanted 330 transactions. So what happens? It's like when you start making money and do it right, the right way. Rich and famous people don't work like you. They never have, they never will. They own pieces of something. They don't allow their parent company to do business. I mean, understand that. No rich and famous person today allows their parent company to do business. Their parent company owns businesses. Warren Buffett, you watch him all the time, buy businesses again. Well, what do you look around you, okay? Okay, Elon Musk, Bezos, okay? Zuckerberg, doesn't matter. So getting this, all right, no understanding this is changing your life. Your problem with you is you. If I lined you up for a damn escrow, I'm going to give you a folder. Your folder is going to show you 10 escrows on a weekly basis. And then you and I are going to have a conversation, what makes sense. Then we're going to look at what line of credit we have. Which one of the ones we have from the 4 banks that I love. Now we have 150, and listen carefully. The 150, we're going to put basically 100,000 in escrow. That lets you get a bigger program, a bigger escrow, a bigger income, bigger results, okay? For every 150,000, you want to put 100,000 in an escrow. For every $50,000, you put 25. For every 100,000, you put 75. See, numbers don't lie. I will tell you, for the last 50 years, I've been saying numbers don't lie, only people lie. Simple. How do I get more clarity on what I'm paying for? All right, the difference is what happens with you loaded something. You call a specialist today, okay, 800-254-9506. Everything we do is a contract, okay, in writing. Everything else, you're stuck with me no matter what. Well, they're going to ask you 10 questions. What, do you have an LLC or C Corp, S Corp? How's your personal credit? Structure that. Let's get you in a wrap or rescore. Let's reduce your debt to ratio. Let's get you from there. Let's build corporate credit. Let's build divisions. Let's get 18 divisions and let's play. See, these questions are going to be asking you. In the link tree, you're going to see these questions as well. The difference is, do you really want to get auto income? Okay, put the phone number on the screen, okay? Well, one of our specialists will do that, or one of Mindy will probably do it for you, Jay will. Okay, they do it all the time. So again, what happens? Does escrow work? How do you place things in escrow? Okay, let's understand. I hand you a folder, okay, the folder, okay? There's the phone number, there's Jay, putting the phone number. I have these people who love me, I love them. I'm having a great time, 18 weeks on TikTok. It's new to me. Been writing checks for millions and millions of dollars for years, for 50 years on radio and TV. I'm gonna give you a folder. You're in, let's say in your coaching program. I lined up 10 escrows this week for you, okay? I want you to look at it. We look at your line of credit. I'm gonna say this storage unit looks great. I think we should do the storage unit, okay? All right, here's the laundromat. Here's the car wash, okay? Here's an apartment complex. See, the apartment complex, we need 150 in line of credit. And unless we have that, forget it. We don't want that. We do not want that. Okay, the apartment complex, I'll probably use the blueprint loan that's 250 because I want to make sure I don't max it out. This allows you to become the bank. This allows you to do multiple loans and multiple escrows at one time. This is how one client got 6 escrows going at one time, okay? And now his income will be $42,000 a month for the entities and what he's doing. Now watch. Every American Express card, they want to try to give you 99 more. Here's a couple of $1 million worth, okay? Is that okay? So understand, credit's a tool and we finance the dream. Okay, hey, Black Ken Phone, how you doing? Been a client for years, and you know, the t-shirt's great. I'm waiting for looking at the new one without the G versus the D. That's kind of cute. All right, if you have bad credit, do yourself a favor, download the book, it's free. In the open market, it costs up to about $50. It's free to you. It's in the link tree. Very simple. Join the live, join the live, join the live. Call the office right away. It's in the link tree as well. I want you to rebuild yourself right away, please. This will help you understand credit for your kids and for you, because unfortunately, your lack of knowledge sucks. Okay? You listen to all the silly people out there. I mean, when I created my first organization, I was 16. All right, literally had $1 million in the bank. I put this out there 16. 50,000 lines gives you 25,000. 25,000. Well, this is based on, my rules are simple. I will not let someone I help in an escrow break my rules, okay? I won't, nobody what. See, you put money in escrow, I don't touch the money. I haven't had a paycheck for 40 years to my clients, and you know, the office that takes care of these people here, not me. So what happens is simple. If I got a line of credit, let's pick one of these. Here's B of A, here's US Bank, okay, a couple of US banks, Wells Fargo, all right, here's Wells Fargo's, and here's another B of A, here's another US Bank, okay? So, and here's our Chase. All right, if we get a line of credit, all right, the line of credit, do I want 1 escrow or 2? It's going to be very simple. How many escrows would I like? First of all, I'd like to do one thing. The line of credit is going to be very simple. The line of credit, if it's 150, I can afford to put 100,000 in escrow. Do I want 3 escrows instead? See, there's the difference. I want 3 escrows. How fast do I want to create multiple incomes? How do you get started and how much do it? All you have to do is just check in. All right, Linktree, 800-254-9506. So you understand, do not spend a lot of money in something unless you really want to go for it. Walk slow, walk slow. That's what you do. So let's say I get that 150. I will not allow you to spend more than 100,000. I know what did I say that I sway? I'm going to treat you like you're 2 friggin' years old. I always have, always will. I will not let a client that I'm helping take their 150 and use more than 100,000 in it, period. They will not max themselves out. That 100 could be 3 escrows or 1. 3 or 1. You have to make a decision. The reason I give you a folder of 10 opportunities is I need you to understand mentally how this works. Are we going to close 1 escrow or 3? What's the income? Multiple things. I like 3 escrows, but I'm not using in the beginning, so I was not ready for that. So $100,000 is going to be 150, 100,000. If I got 75, I spend 50. Okay, if I got basically 50, I spend 25. U.S. Bank loves to give 100,000s out all the time. Again, maybe it takes 2 of those. We're using borrow money to get into an escrow, close an escrow, and we get it paid. The payment is paid to the creditor and the line of credit immediately as you close escrow. You don't ever have to pay the damn loan back because it's being paid before you get proceeds. They pay you the leftover because they make sure you didn't screw it up. Hey, they verify how you got the damn escrow and you use borrow money. They're not going to be part of you not paying back the borrow money. So again, they pay the payment first, you get the leftover. You always get leftover, okay? That's nice. Ha ha, love it. Well, what happens is very simple. I don't understand. It's like I put this out in 1976. I wrote my first patent when I was a kid. I got a check for $1 million, and they gave me a licensing fee because they wanted to buy my patent. Simple. That way you don't ever have to constantly type it in. Well, the reality is very simple as we do this. So what happened for me is I kept creating businesses and buying businesses. First, Jack in the Box in 19, and bought Subways and 31 flavors and shopping centers, all these pieces. I learned very young that I don't have to run a business. I can own the damn thing and be the bank. I decided to be the bank at 21 years old. I even wrote a book, How to Become the Bank. So again, as we position this correctly, what do? All right, can you buy crypto with, all right, yes, I understand, slow down. Crypto is very simple. I have a client who put $1 million in 2009, and it was $148 billion. Now it's 98 billion, okay? Can you, now understand, you don't buy crypto unless it's a division. You don't buy crypto, okay? None, Hello, Ray, hello, how you doing? Fantastic. Well, again, it's up to you as you play this game. Structure builds finance and dreams. So what do? If you were to buy Bitcoin or crypto, I would tell you to use a line of credit from a division. All right, what happens? For instance, let's look at us. I don't want to create a lot of debt, but if you bought Bitcoin, that's what you want to do with crypto or gold, silver, stock trading or something. You'd use a division because that takes the risk. What you'd realize one thing, I always make my clients repeat after me and maybe write it down. I'm willing to sacrifice a division, not the corporation or my family. We get leftovers after the payment which is paid. That's correct. It's auto income. Auto income. All right? You are smart. Well, no, God's smart. He's using me as an vehicle to help you. For 50 years, I've helped people become millionaires and billionaires. For 50 years. It's kind of fun. So we have the ability to play the game to win. So let's structure. If I use this for Bitcoin, $50,000, okay, maybe I do that, or crypto. Now, if it goes down, I can take the loss off. If it goes up, I can write off because of the debt to ratio. I can fluctuate about 47%. So either way, I get to win, and that's the goal. You get to win. It's long term anyway. So as you do that, remember something. If the average person is wasting $50 every other day, $700 to $1,000 a month, this is $281. Worst case, you have to spend $281 to basically maintain the growth of that if you want to. Are you using it for real estate? If so, fix, flipper, renters, and property. No. First of all, flippity-dippity-doos are a piece of crap. Sorry. You want to do them? Fantastic. Do it as a division. There's no money in a single-family house. There's no money in it. It's ridiculous why you'd want it. I have no idea. I quit doing that when I was 21. Okay, fourplex or above, yes. But if you want to fix a property, do me a favor. If you fix up properties, do it for nonprofit, please. Nonprofit. See, the problem, you're going to waste $50,000 trying to fix it up, lease it out. You're going to count on some ding-dong to pay the lease payment, to pay the mortgage for you. You're going to get stuck in between. Has to be division process. Divisions, at least you have a line of defense if you screw it up. I've had people, I watched them screw it up and lose 20 or 30 houses at one time because one lawsuit brought them down. Now, the reason I say nonprofit, if you did a house under nonprofit as a division, you're entitled to $112,000 a month. That's right, grant money. So now you're using a cause. You're helping retired military. You're helping hospice. You're doing a real business. That's what makes sense. Again, that's what I would say to do, but it's going to be up to you. If it's a fourplex, you can make 4 times the money. So again, share the life, share the life, share the life. Basically very simple. CEO, you, CFO, me. Well, you can have multiple CFOs. I understand this. And through a board of directors and resolution, you can say I have divisions and I have corporations. I have multiple CFOs as the board. You can have 5 people being CFOs in 5 different directions at the same time. So very simple. It's not a hard thing to do. So the difference is very simple as we play this game to win. Okay? We remove turds. I don't like turds. Okay. So hello, Ray. Hello, ho. Back to you, Archie. Okay? So if I screw this up, please forgive me. Okay? I screw up names or because it's scrolling pretty fast. I'll try to answer as many questions as I can. If I don't get your question, just basically DM me in the link tree. What do you get to do? Very simple. Call 800-254-9506. CEO extended the parent company credit to me. Yeah, what happens is if you have a corporation or LLC, that builds a credit file. Since I set up the dashboard that allows basically, all right, Experian Charter and Equifax in 87, I created that file for allows corporations to have tax IDs and have credit cards for that as well. So it's like Experian Business, Equifax Business, TransUnion Business. These reports using tax ID base. I set up the original dashboard in 87. I mean, if we go back in time, ladies and gentlemen, okay, you don't want to go on there. All right, I'm the guy that set up the system behind the scenes training Yarborough in the 80s and 70s and 80s. So simple. All right, I said, oh, this card suggested that, and I suggested 28% rule. That's why every card needs a sticky. You have to have your debt to ratio because when you jack it up, you drop your score. The reason I push American Express Gold or Platinum is they don't fluctuate. So again, they don't fluctuate. If I rebuild myself as a CFO family, God, family, money, that's what it is, God, family, money. Over here, I take the corporation division process. Again, it depends what you want to do, for instance. Because you're looking for a bunch of this. This is even in money. Hasn't been money since 71. It's a Federal Reserve note. So if we play this game to win, get your free book, Starting Out Right, it's in the link tree. You need your articles of corporation in the link tree. All the pieces are in the link tree for every one of you. So understand something. If we listen and learn, we can change our lives. But again, I want your credit back on track. I don't want you hiring credit repair flakes because that makes no damn sense. Again, and what do? Winning the credit game. Save yourself $50. It's in the link tree. Download it for free. Okay? In part of the book, you'll see part of my Lamborghini collection at the past as well. See, I'm the guy that bought his first Lamborghini when he was a kid in an auction. I'm not full of hooey. Okay? Unfortunately, a lot of people are. Now, I've been racing motorcycles, boats, and cars all my life. So again, the number 8 is my favorite number. I was born on the 8th because it's a lucky day because I was born. So if you listen and learn today and you take your picture of the mouse pad, by the way, I'll send you one of these for free if you want. DM me. Call the office. Share the live, share the live, share the live. I'll give you the free mouse pad. I'll pay all the costs for you. I'll pay the whole thing for you. All right? Simple. I've been doing that for years. See, pay tax or send out mouse pads as a marketing tool. Pay tax, buy a Lamborghini Ferrari. Pay tax, buy a spaceship. Pay tax, buy the what? See why it works? See, it's like this book. When I wrote this in 1987 with Ken Yarborough, he was security chief at TRW. I was a consultant for him. The back of every book showed me holding the record for the highest kick, fastest kick on planet Earth. One of the Lamborghinis in the collection, one of the managers, one of the yachts. Why not? This is called file segregation. I did not like it. It's a legitimate way, legally, and I'm not here to be shaping an attorney, to change everything to start a new credit file. Even petition to change the name and all kinds of stuff. When we got done with the book, I didn't like it. So I didn't put it on the market. I did not want to do file segregation because I felt after we got done with it, what if the consumer rips off the creditor and keeps doing it again and again? No. So I took it off the shelf. We didn't even put it out there. I don't like file segregation. A division of me, okay. See, Ken, this is Ken Yarborough, security chief at TRW back then. His thing was, your divisions take 90 days. This is instant. Well, I don't want instant. I think this is instant and careless. So I said, no. No, 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 no. Okay? A division of me under the corporation. See, eventually, every one of you can get rid of you being a CFO and quit guaranteeing crap. You guarantee because you don't know any better. You haven't built your foundation yet. So every one of you in the future will have a division of me, and you'll be able to guarantee everything as a division of me using tax ID versus SSN. You're going to replace you in the future because I said so. It's simple. Now, if we do this correctly, what happens? If I line you up in an escrow, I'm going to give you a folder of 10 escrows that week. Do we basically, again, link tree, you can get the mousepad DM, that's all you have to do. Put a message in the link tree. If I get the gold cards, platinum, personal, business, I want the business ones, okay? So here we look at the personal cards, we look at my cards, my mother-in-law's cards, my wife's cards, my cards, these are great, okay? All these are basically personal gamecs and golds because I need those. Why do I need gold and platinum personal? Because the bottom line is, if I take this past 29%, I've screwed myself up. 29% below is good, it's green. 30 is yellow, 50 is red, that's called being dumb. If I have these, they don't fluctuate. That gives me through that old rainy day, that old blankety blank day. Simple. So in the link tree, just put your information. They'll send you a mouse pad. 800-254-9506. Share the life, share the life. So this helps me personal credit. This will give you about 100,000 of personal credit. It literally gives you 71,000 of safety. Divisions separate from the parent company. Secretary of State says it is the same as a parent. Nah, and then you're looking at it wrong. Okay? No Secretary of State says a division is part of the parent or the parent company. It's not true. Division process is a division under the parent company. Maybe you're reading it wrong. I don't know. When I set up division process, it was 1984. Okay? Why did I do it? I had to. I got this letter in the mail from the Secretary of State of California. They said I have to pay franchise tax fee per corporations. Now, I got LLCs, LLPs, C Corps, S Corps, nonprofit. You have PC, professional corp. All right. Now, in 1984, they said me I have to pay franchise tax fee. So when people say you need 5 LLCs, no, the answer is no, because that's like in California, that's $5,000. Just say you have a piece of paper. The goal is very simple. 84. All right. I went to Sacramento and I asked a question. I didn't want to spend $1.2 million on franchise tax fees. Now, remember, on 84, I'm the king of satellite television, manufacturer, distribution, retail store, all this stuff, in hundreds of millions of dollars, no problem. Same time, I own some Shakey's, 30 in flavor, shopping centers, and condos. See, I own things that have auto income my whole life. So I went to Sacramento, California. I asked a basic question, and they sent me to 2 departments. Can I create an entity under the corporation or LLCs that does not pay franchise tax fee? They told me to create a form and modify one. I did that in 1984. Division process became, I won't say law, I'm not here to be safe an attorney, in 1985-86. So your LLC should have 18 divisions. Your C Corp, S Corp, and 18 divisions. Why? Because that creates this, okay, right here, and that's 100,000 a month, 18 divisions. Again, we get lines of credit or blueprint loans as well. This is auto income. Your problem with you keep doing you, and I think you're doing it's wrong. It's like the client. I gave him a corporation that had literally 3 divisions and 3 subdivisions, and that's what he did. That 3 subdivisions, because he made me a CFO as his company, and I built him all his credit, I charged him $38,000. But his income, the 6 escrows closing, 6 escrows is $42,000 a month. $42,000 a month forever. See, nothing changes in the business when you buy auto income because you buy something boring and steady. Simple. Unless it burns down, then you have other pieces anyway to replace your insurance. So what happens? This is my last one. This is 3 corp. This is a C Corp. It has 3 divisions and 3 subdivisions connected to it. Okay? But this is $8,000. This is going to help someone close 6 escrows to create up to $42,000 a month. That's what it is, $42,000 a month. But again, all right, that's forever. So the foundation builds structure and dreams. Does each division have its separate TIN? Not in the beginning, no. You don't need that. The goal of what you want to do is create liability for divisions. Divisions give you the line of defense. Line of defense. After you daisy chain credit 3 to 5 months later, you probably will, but you won't have the same bank account. Here's what happens. The banks and I fought in 96. I won. Okay? They're allowed to put 75 divisions on a bank account. So your divisions are going to be on the same bank account because you get average balance, and that's the goal. You want to build average balance so they give you more money. Okay? They also don't pay all these silly fees. So again, share the life, share the life, share the life, and help me help you. That's the goal. We all need to be helped all the time we can. So structure builds finance and dreams. So it's like this one here. Lawrence said he has 2 people interested. Whoever gets it this morning, that's theirs. It's $8,000. Okay, it's not cheap, but it's 3 divisions and 3 subs. So that's $42,000 a month after escrow. Again, that's what happens. You bought yourself an income. You're lined up in coaching process, and now you have money coming per each division. That is 6 divisions, escrow, that's $42,000 a month. Again, what do? You structure so you build the finance and the dream. You put yourself back on track. Now, let me give you something very simple. There's only 5 things to do to put your credit back on track since I wrote the rules anyway in the 70s and 80s. Today, okay, I tell you to get your free books. First of all, I tell you to get the book basically called what? Starting It Right for You and the Kids. It's a free download, okay? All right, learn the rules and tools, please. It's free. Open market's about $50, no problem. From there, winning the credit game, because I don't want you to hire a credit repair flaky company. Use $100 in the open market. It's free in the link tree. Now you get your credit back on track. Then what we're going to do is we're going to focus on your corporation or LLC into this. This is your future. Take your picture. Take your picture. Very simple. It's very simple. Divisions separate from parent company, secretary, Again, we got to read it the right way because it's wrong. Corporation controls an entity. I designed it for one reason. Banks last year bankrupt 22,000 locations. So when I designed division process 85 and 86, when I created in 84, it's separate liability, plus I don't want to pay franchise tax fee. If banks can bankrupt locations and stay in business, that means the parent company doesn't do business, they own businesses. That's what all companies do. See, rich and famous people do not do business. All right? They own businesses. They don't allow their parent company to do business because that made no sense. That means because if you allow your parent LLC get sued, they sue you. Secret escrow. They sue, you're the officer, you're the founder. You're in the officer's list. You control the bank account. You're the duck and sheep. Division process circumvents that. If you basically let me coach you or train you, we're going to give you a folder. Folder is going to have 10 opportunities. Why 10? For instance, here, this one here, this is a storage unit. Okay? 9 people got $8,000 a month. Is that good or not? But they don't get the money. It goes to their corporation and the division. Division received the money and liability, went to the parent company, build an average balance. Again, all right, that's how it works. This is a laundromat. Only 2 people got in this, and they got $2,900 a month. Simple for life. So the reason we give you a folder of 10, well, you have to decide what you want. Do you want to close 1 escrow or 3? It's simple. I get you a line of credit up to $150. What do we do? With an appointment, do you use your own capital or credit? You use the corporate credit all the time. What would you use your own capital? You might use your capital or finance from you to build your foundation. That's about it. Corporate credit offsets the taxes. Debt offsets taxes. Write it straight in the credit card. Write it all off. That's how you do it in the first place. So again, the reason you want to decide if I want 1 escrow or 3 is I get you $150. Let's say I get you $150,000 line of credit right here. No problem. It's a line of credit. All right, it's tied into the bank account. No problem. That's fun. Now, the $150 allows me to spend $100,000 of it. That's it. I will not allow a client to spend more than $100,000 out of $150. It makes no damn sense. If they spend more, they're screwing themselves up. No. What do we do? That $100,000. If I put $100,000 in one of the escrows, I'm locked in escrow. I'm getting the proceeds. That $100,000 is going to be about $9,000. I think it's $9,620 is an average. Okay, let's say $10,000. Let's just round it off, 10 grand. Okay. Now, if I take that $100,000, put in 3 other escrows, 3 escrows. Okay, I'm going to end up with 3 opportunities. I'm going to end up with $12,000 a month. Okay, so again, for the long term, you want to actually do both. To be honest with you, you want to do both. But again, it's going to be up to you if you want to do one of the both. So 100,000, you have to make a decision. Do I want 3 escrows or do I want 1? All right, you're going to want probably as many as you can as you do this, but again, it's going to be up to you. 100,000 in 1 escrow, that's 9620. Okay, no problem. That's good forever. You own an asset or a piece, that's fine. If I now have, all right, 3 escrows and each one's giving me $3,200 a month, $3,200 a month. So I'm up to what? And then if we look at it as a position, that's the lowest. It goes up higher. It's about an average of 12,000 a month. So again, they both work, but they're owned by a management company. I like multiply odds based on locations and having 3 versus 1. So I'm going to probably pick the 3 versus 1. It's like anything else that we do. The main thing is getting processed and get to the pain and restructure ourselves. So you have the choice today as we structure you. Man, the main thing for me. See, for you, all right, 3 people asked the question, well, I'd get you in a blueprint call, okay, with me. That's what it is. What does that mean? I would spend an hour with you on the phone, okay? If you have a partner of life, I'd like that person on the phone with us. I'd like to kind of inspect you, past, present, and future. All right, good, bad, ugly, tax problem, bankruptcy, whatever. We mess up Chase or American Express and how you're structured, okay? You got a 10 over the weekend. Actually, I was sick, but yesterday we were in the pool and spa. Maybe I got a 10, I don't know. Usually I just get red. It takes me a while to get brown. My beautiful wife and my kids are brown all the time. They're just brown and they're beautiful. They have that olive skin, okay? So what happens now? If I take this couple $1 million of American Express cards, each one of these ties into a blueprint loan. See, how you get more is very simple. Blueprint loan as we play this game. For instance, a blueprint loan on a corporation as we structure this. So again, to let you know, I mean, that's why I always use the mouse pad as an example, because it makes sense for every one of us to learn how to play the game to win. The game. When I wrote Winning the Game of Business, basically a long time ago, it is a game to play, and we want to win the game. So it's structure. See, I look over here, and it's over here. Okay. These. So if I take my mouse pad, okay, that I showed you a second ago, and we line it all up, this is your future. This creates $100,000 a month if you do exactly what you're told to do, 100,000. You can't screw it up. You can't screw it up. Guess what? The number, all right, presented gross or net. It's net to the bank. It's to your bank account. It's net. They already took the payment out. You're getting leftover. Leftover is net. All right, net. Now the difference is in your organization. If you have, let's say you have 10 divisions, 9 divisions, what I'm going to tell you how to do this. Okay, put that thing, hide the thumb. 9 divisions, as it shows here, creates $100,000 a month income. Now again, all right, if you sit there with all income, you're going to pay tax. If you use leverage into money and you grow more debt, offsets taxes, you buy more process. Let's understand something. The reason Warren Buffett and Bezos and Musk and everyone keep buying businesses, once you start getting past that $5 million mark, you got to keep it for life. Do you have websites? You know, we have 38 websites. Pick one. Okay, they're all over the place. So this, what happens? I show the Amex card because that's the first card that doesn't fluctuate. What do? We get them personal. It makes sure we keep our debt to ratio at 29%. Then we turn around for the corporation. And how many would you like? I mean, how many would you like? It's simple. Every division gets its own line of credit. If I get one of those cards, gold or platinum business, they give me a loan up to $250 as long as I can justify 30 transactions and $100,000 in and out of the bank account. That's how it works, in and out of the bank account. So we have the ability to change our lives if we choose to want to, but it's going to be up to you. Your goal is up to you. Always has been, always will. So it's structure builds finance and dreams. Structure builds finance and dreams, always has, always will. So if we do this correctly, you're going to restructure yourself and you're going to close an escrow. I like closing more than one escrow. I got screwed up real bad in 87 because I had 16 escrows closed in a day. I was like, what am I going to do? I reached out to my clients and asked if they'd like to be my soldiers. So my clients got involved in 87 being auto income. So it did. Auto income made sense to us. So I shared the escrows with them, and that's what happened. So since 87, I help people position themselves to own a piece of something. Again, every one of these is auto income. Every one of these is managed by a management company. Once again, if I give you a folder, your choice will be, do I want 1 escrow or 3? I have a $150,000 line of credit now. Okay. Well, let's see. Here's three. I basically put 25,000 down. That's 75,000. Remember, at 100,000, 150, you're not allowed to use more than 100 because I said so. I will not let you back yourself in a corner because it's not good discipline. So if I have 150, put 100,000 in one escrow, it's a bigger piece. Okay, it's usually 96.20 a month. If I have three escrows and I have three locations in something, so I have three escrows versus one. Could you do more? Yes, if you had more money. Again, that's how it works. We're using borrow money, okay, to basically get a piece of something. Borrow money is not taxable. Okay, can I get that one corporation today? Well, the one that has three divisions and three subdivisions, it's $8,000. Whoever talks to this and spends money, the faster they get it, whoever gets it first. I'm not going to reserve anything or anything like this. I had someone on Saturday. Can you put a deposit? No. Okay. It's very done or not done. It's simple. So that one is basically what? As a client did, he basically spent $38,000 to build him all kinds of credit. I'm a CFO, all these pieces, using accounts to verify his income and verify our bank accounts or transactions. Escrow closes, that's $42,000 a month. So he spent $38,000 and his return is $42,000 a month forever. He bought it's forever. Unless he sells it or it burns down or whatever happens, and it won't. Okay, so the difference is what? 6 escrows, 6 locations, okay, all doing auto income, all what I call dummy-proof business. Any dummy can be an investor and own a piece of something run by a management company. And that's what happens. Very crucial. So we do this correctly. So keep in mind, every division should look at a line of credit called blueprint loan. Okay? Well, the difference is I call it dummy-proof business, okay? I mean, I do something new, I feel kind of dumb. I need to master it. That's what makes sense to me. All right? So the difference is as we play this game to win. And the goal is every piece is going to be structured. So guess what? You know, you're not going to go crazy with it. You're going to get your blueprint loan from American Express. That's up to $250. You can turn it into installment loans as well. They allow you to do that too. And you can basically get past go and actually restructure your business. So I would say get one escrow closed first. Get used to this, okay? Understand escrows. If you own 20% of a Wendy's restaurant today, forever, what are you going to do? A storage unit, laundromat, car wash, an apartment complex. But the apartment complex is a bigger project. So again, it's going to be up to you as well. So share the live, share the live. All right, that's what you need to do. DM me if you want the free mouse pad. Get your free books in the link tree. From there, 800-254-9506. Get a hold of a specialist. It is 4:57 in the morning, okay? 4:57 in the morning, okay? So what do we do? So basically, in an hour and a half, call the office, talk to somebody, okay? Talk to Brandy, talk to Chris, talk to David, talk to Lawrence, Kelly, George, all right? Anybody but Sue. How about even David, too? 800-254-9506. I'm in California. Do you offer in-person training? No. We used to. Okay, our facility's not set up for that. I had a classroom of 800 people before I died in a coma, and that was fun. So again, it's online all the time. So what's going to happen is it's over the phone as well, or we can Zoom it or whatever we need to be. So what's going to happen is if you get into coaching, the difference is going to be very simple to help you every step of the way. But then you're on the phone every 4 weeks, and you're in class every week as well. Remember, I'm online twice a day, Monday through Friday. I have been online or in person for 50 years, 5 days a week there, and on Saturday, 6 classes. What I've done for 50 years, because I made a promise when I was 7, so I kept my promise. So keep in mind today, it's very simple if we play this game. I would basically, to the 2 people who want that self-corporation, you better be calling it 6:05 or 6:10 today, Pacific Standard Time. Because whoever buys it for that $8,000, it's 3 divisions, all right, 3 subdivisions, and on top of that, it's an age corp. It's 2 years old already. The bank in 90 days is going to hand you $150. But again, that depends on who's serious to do it as well. We are grateful for your work and dedication. I will be speaking with your team very soon. Well, I appreciate you saying thank you. I really appreciate it. All right, I get more love and likes from TikTok and social media in the last 18 weeks than I've gotten in years. Okay, it's nice. I give the thanks to God because he gave me the brain to have all the ability to do this, to help you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've got to check some bank accounts, some other things I have work to do. So I want to make sure you understand. 800-254-9506. 800-254-9506. Amen, amen. We do our best. God does the rest. Amen to that too. Never forget, at the end of the day, please, please, please remember God loves us all. 800-254-9506. Talk to the specialist right away. They'll be here in about an hour and 15 minutes. And I'll be online this afternoon at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time to help people again and again and again if I can. If I create 18 divisions under the LLC, can you get them? Oh, yeah. That's easy. Well, I'm sorry, you asked the question. I don't want to go off answering a question. I would get credit for the corp and I would daisy chain it. As over here, they put daisy chain. I created daisy chaining your credit in 1989, by the way. So every card can give me 18 more cards. So if you create 18 divisions today, okay, I would bill credit to the parent company and daisy chain it into the division process. Answer your question? Okay, gotta go. I'll be back online today at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Okay, always remember God loves us all. And click the links in the link tree. DM me as well and get a hold of the specialist 800-254-9506. All right, stay safe today. Have a blessed day. All right, I'll see you soon.